Sweet, 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 sweet. Give me something good to eat. We've got a fragrance from the house of Arabiyat Sugar, so strap up. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. We all mic'd up? Okay, yes, we are. From the house of Arabiyat Sugar, a facet of Arabiyat Prestige, we have Lemon Sorbet. Some of you guys might be wondering, SB, why the heck do you have all these gourmand fragrances? Well, I get my hands on all kind of stuff. Sometimes it's like extras thrown in with my purchase. Sometimes I build relationships with people and they throw stuff at me that they know I haven't reviewed yet. This is one of those cases. I think I was buying some Arabiyat Prestige and my guys over at Parfum Guys hooked it up, which I'll be sharing with the community soon. So stay tuned for that. And they always give me, you know, a sample of something completely opposite of what I actually got. So with that being said, we've got this Arabiyat Sugar here. Do I need to put my hand over it? Okay, well, as you can see, I'm not a cameraman by trade, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Lemon Sorbet, let's get straight into it. The Arabiyat Prestige gourmands have been decent. I'm not going to lie. They've got really explosive, radiant projection in the opening sniff. I think we reviewed like 2 so far. So one thing I will say is when you first spray any of the fragrances from the Arabiyat Sugar line so far, this will be the 3rd one that we've reviewed. The sillage and projection seems like it's going to be nuclear. But I can assure you that though there is a bombastic, straight level projection in the opening, it does settle down into a very nice fragrancy experience. It still has the longevity, but it's not as heady and out there as you get in the opening. In the opening, you feel like it's, you know, Kamrakawa mixed with Latafa Atlas or something level projection. But everything does chill the heck out, and I'm just giving it a second to do that. The bottle's shaped like an ice cream cone. Obviously, it's sorbet or sherbet, right? Oriental vanilla fragrance, unisex, dropped in 2025. 4.67 rating out of 5 out of 24 votes. And it says this is a gourmand. Oh, it just goes into the notes. Okay, well, it's dried down enough now. Let's get into this. Yeah. This is one of those situations, you know, reading the notes here. It says top lemon and rum, heart notes gourmand. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean. Base notes vanilla. So with fragrances like this, you always have to be careful with gourmands and fruits and citrus and things like that, because sometimes they can remind you of specific items or scent memories. And based off whether or not you have a good or bad association with those, it dictates whether or not you like the fragrance right off the bat. So what I can say about this is it has very much a lemon cookie type of scent profile, but the lemon is quite tart. So if you squint your eyes or you're the certain type of individual, you might go down the rabbit hole of lemon pledge. But I really feel like the fragrance has that kind of savory baked goodness behind it to pull it back in. Like it's like it takes your mind there for half a second, pulls it back into some cookies. And yeah, the booze, you know, the rum, I'm going to be honest with you guys, keep it tall as usual. The rum is so finesse, you know, 10% or less. I think you can make it out if you get up in it or if somebody gives you a hug, but it's not like very alcoholic, for lack of better words. It doesn't jump out as its own thing. It kind of just tints the lemon, but this is mostly like a lemon cookie type of experience. Sorbet, I mean, it's light like sorbet, you know, light to medium weight, but I get more of a lemon, you know, like a sugar cookie with lemon frosting type of feel. Again, this could smell like cookies, it could smell like holidays, it could smell like Yankee Candle type stuff to you, but I think they've done a good job of kind of putting a little bit of extra love into these to make them feel like fragrances. And I mean, this is the type of scent where, let's say you didn't like wearing it during the holidays, you would so put this in the air or spray it in your car or something just to like really cozy it up. I'm not mad at the quality of these. I got to be honest, we're on the third one in now. You know, it's not the moon and the stars, but it smells exactly like what the title says. And it doesn't smell fake. It doesn't smell expensive, but it doesn't smell cheap either. It's somewhere in the middle. And they do deliver on the messaging and the marketing as far as what you can anticipate when you get into this. Now, when you see this picture, right, they've got it as kind of like a vanilla-based ice cream, and I think that's appropriate here because I get more of like a lemon cookie vibe, and I thought, you know, with sherbet, they kind of have more of an icy, you know how like gelato and certain sherbets and sorbets or whatever kind of have more of a icy heavy composition. They're not as milky. I like that they did this kind of milky thing in the artwork because that's what I get more of, this kind of savory milky experience behind the lemon. It feels more like lemon cookies to me. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm not going to take too much of your guys' time with these gourmands. Again, you know, high rating, but very small sample size, 24 votes. So don't hang your coat on this one. Lemon, rum, gourmand accord, vanilla. It's mostly vanilla and lemon, but I feel like these two here are just adding enough complexity to where it doesn't feel too much like a candle. It also doesn't feel too cheap, but it also doesn't. Yeah, that gourmand accord kind of just to me is almost like a cheesecake note or something in here. Good smell though, guys. Definitely if you're into this stuff. I'm sure this stuff is pretty cheap. Let's check the price tag on this. Look at that. Look at that bottle presentation. You know, they call this stuff unisex, but they know dang well a guy isn't going to put a freaking waffle cone on his dresser. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. We could have did better. 26 bucks, 100 ml, right? Yeah. 3.4. So yeah, man, these are just cheap, fun buys. I mean, you might not own all of these unless, you know, you're a woman who likes a bunch of cool holiday options. But you certainly got to have at least one from here, I think, if you're a woman. Men, you know, not so much, but maybe. I mean, some guys are into that stuff, you know. Reminds people of devotion. See, don't listen to any of this. Don't listen to any of this crap. What are people saying in the comments? Spectacular? Yes. Synthetic? Absolutely not. Super citrus, real juicy lemon scent. Can layer this with anything. So good, I will repurchase for sure. Nice first blast of citruses. They talked about that opening. Amazing blind buy. Yeah, so people who are into this love it. So let's go ahead and wrap up for you guys since we're already hitting the 8 minutes. And that means SB gets his monetization. That's if you guys watch the commercial, right? But anyways, as a fragrance, I give it I'm at somewhere between a 7 and an 8. I want to give it an 8 because it doesn't smell average. It doesn't smell cheap. It smells of quality. So you know what? We're going to give it a low 8. How about that? You know, we don't try to decimal over here. I try to talk you through if I was going to decimal, but just so you guys can see if there's a kind of lean towards a particular score or not. But I'm giving it an 8, just 8.0. You know what I mean? This is above average. The quality's there. It doesn't smell synthetic and cheap. It doesn't smell super rich, but it does have enough complexity to warrant a really solid fragrance. I'm not into this stuff. This isn't really my bag, but if I went into a girl's car or into her house, you know what I'm saying, and this was in the air, I would not be mad at all. Occasions, easily fall, winter, or breezy nights in the spring, summer, if it's cold where you live. Otherwise, strictly fall, winter, holiday scents, nostalgia scents where you just want to feel good. It's a you scent, it's expressive piece. Or maybe, you just want to smell some cookies in the air. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to treat gourmands like this in terms of occasions outside of like holidays and wearing it for yourself. So that's a good question I guess I can pose for you guys is like, ladies, and even some of you guys who wear this type of stuff, like outside of holidays and family get-togethers and stuff like that, do you wear it anywhere else? I'm new to this like completely pure gourmand thing. I'm more of an entry gourmand kind of guy, and I'm even having to get softened up to that side of things because, I've smelled certain fragrances that have been like, oh wow, like Sweetie Oud from Roja and kerosene unknown pleasures and stuff like that, where I'm like, I think I could dig this, if there was just a little bit contrast and things like that. So 8 out of 10 for me. Fall, winter sprays on this, 4 to 8 depending on indoor or outdoor use. I think you easily get 6 hours plus on this fragrance. I'm not going to call these nuclear because they wear very much like just a super moderate 6 to 8 hours of performance. And the reason I say that is because in the opening, you'll always think these Arabiyat Sugars are going to be nuclear. But even as I go back to this fragrance now, it's half of what it was, but what it used to be was nuclear. So half of that just feels like a very solid staple 6 hour plus fragrance, depending on your hygiene. Alternatives, I can't really, this is a head scratcher moment for me because with gourmands, I can't really think of alternatives that smell exactly like this stuff. Actually, matter of fact, I'll say this. In this case, as I said that, I'm like, you're contradicting yourself. So if you're into fragrances with lemon and kind of like a lemon savory sweet, like ice cream or cupcake or baked good or cookie type of thing, a fragrance that I tried that got me into gourmands was kerosene, Kerosine, kerosene unknown pleasures. That fragrance smells like fresh baked lemon cookies sitting in an ice cream parlor. So it's this very airy but rich experience. And even though I don't know where the heck I would wear these type of gourmand scents, that one is a gourmand that is more fragrancy and more of a niche offering of this style. So if you want like the highest end of this kind of style with the lemon shortbread cookie type of feel, Unknown Pleasures is phenomenal, and I would actually own a bottle of that. So as I'm narrowing down into my top 100 best fragrances of all time, I know Kerosene Unknown Pleasures will definitely be in that lot to just kind of represent that part of my journey. But if you need something cheap to get into it, this is a wonderful offering here. Again, this is Arabiyat Sugar Lemon Sorbet, and this is a solid fragrance for sure. So like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. If you're new to the channel, we talk about clones, dupes, inspireds, niche, independent niche, designers, vintage, everything in between. From beginner to advanced, I've got you covered. We drop videos every single day, both entertainment, interviewing cool people in the community, as well as doing reviews all the dang time, so I can put your nose on some new stuff. There's nothing better than to get comments and DMs and emails from people saying, SB, the reason I like the way you describe a fragrance is because when you talk about a fragrance, I feel like I can smell it through the screen. So I'm really grateful for the community because you guys give me feedback, and we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to grow this community to find people who are finding value from the type of content we provide. So this is the place you want to be, man. Trust me. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Bibbidi bap bat bat bow. On that note, guys, peace.